Hi, this is Phil Hinton, and on the 11th and 12th of June, AV Forums were invited to Valencia in Spain for the D&M Group Product Launch 2012. This event covered new products from Denon, Marantz and Boston Acoustics, with product demos and static displays of all the product being launched this year. We caught up with Roger Batchelor and started by asking what kind of products we can expect from the companies involved.
Well, we're launching over 70 new products this year, which is a first for D&M Audio Visual, of course. We've got Denon, Marantz and Boston Acoustics, and across those, if you include Denon headphones, which is now a separate part of the organisation, over 70 new products and over 45 core products in terms of home audio systems, hi-fi stereo separates and AV products, and all the sort of docking stations and such like. So it's much more, obviously, very cost effective to bring everyone into one location, and it means we can set up some really nice room sets, as you've seen today, and display things really, really well, and bring people in to have a look at it. It's a little like a mini trade show for the whole of Europe, really, for our retailers and the press to come and have a look.
Before we get into Denon, let's start with Marantz. Lots of new products there, some AV products that our members might be interested in.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Particularly what we call the focus models. You've got the NR1603 coming in a little bit later on. Marantz have been very successful with the slimline look AV receiver, so it's an alternative to the bigger, chunkier units. And then, of course, they've got some serious AV receivers coming in as well, and a new AV preamp later on in October. So there'll be more information coming about those products a little bit later on in the year. This is a preview, really. And
for two-channel, also some nice preamps and amplifiers there as well from Marantz.
Oh yes, indeed, yes. There's the 11 series, which has been completely revamped. There's some new DSP processing coming in there for really high-resolution two-channel audio. And later on, there'll be a network player as well for that system coming in. So to really lift the game in terms of what you can do with computer audio, for example, or just as a good standard SACD replay system.
And of course, it's not just Marantz, it's here also Boston Acoustics. Now, some people might not be familiar with Boston, so maybe you could just give them a quick intro.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, Boston Acoustics is a big name, a huge name in America. They've been producing speakers for many, many years. They go back over 30 years. And they're also known for sort of custom installation loudspeakers that fit in the walls and the ceilings and things like that. What we've done with Boston Acoustics, now it's part of the D&M organisation, is we've tuned some designs specifically for the European and UK market. So there's a lot of European engineers that have got involved in the sound tuning. Kenny Shiwata from Marantz has also got involved. And we've got some really nice sounding and looking products that are designed for the European market rather than specifically for the US market.
Now moving on to Denon, let's start with what the majority of the public would know you for, and that's your mini systems, some upgrades there as well.
Indeed, yes, some upgrades to the traditional range of mini systems, the M series, which is the biggest selling product that Denon does, really, because it can be a main room system, it can be a second room system. Really cute, little powerful sort of 30 watt per channel system. That's the new version of that, the DM39, has got a revamped transport and revamped electronics and revamped loudspeakers, sounding absolutely amazing. And then we've also revamped the 107 series to the 109, and there's a network add-on unit for those as well. So there'll be different combinations of that product that you can buy with the CD player or with a network player, and it's all digital. So you link everything up digitally, and you can plug a TV in digitally as well to both these new systems, in fact. Then going on with the more lifestyle products, we've got the Kiol system, which is the network system in white or black, and we've introduced a new version of that called the Piccolo, the Kiol Piccolo, which is a very, very compact unit with no CD transport and no FM radio. So for people who just want a network streaming product for their iPhone, internet radio, and that sort of thing. And we'll be adding more music services to all these devices, with the network devices, as we go along.
And sticking with lifestyle just for a second, because that's where the market's going at the moment, you have some docking stations being released as well.
Docking stations, yes. We previewed some at Gadget Show Live in the UK, pre-production units earlier in the year. Now we're getting much closer to launch in August for the Cocoon series, which are very cute, sort of curvy looking docks, which will do streaming as well as docking. So you have internet radio and so on. And there's a portable version as well as a home version of that, slightly more compact, sort of weatherproof version, as well as the full-blown home system.
Okay, let's get on to the piece de resistance,
Yes.
which is always AVRs. And
Yes.
so your focus is definitely on the model behind you, which is...
Yeah, it's the AVR-3313 coming in, let me say July, I think we're launching. We can check my notes here, July. And this is really the traditional Denon AV receiver around about the £1,000 mark. This is going to be $1,099.99 when it launches. And it's that sort of core market for Denon that we've had for many, many years. And as you can see, the styling on it with the front drop-down flap and the metal fascia enables us to have a silver version as well. But it's really solidly built. And then we have the DBT3313, which is the new Blu-ray player to match up with it, which is a really heavily constructed player. It weighs a ton. And the displays, as you'll see, all match up beautifully between the two units. But of course, we've not just improved the construction, we've improved the sound quality, the engineering. And the receiver is much more flexible than what we've had in the past. You have terminals on the back here for height and wide speakers and surround back speakers, whatever you like. And so you can make your choice about what speaker configuration you have. It's a 7-channel amplifier, so you can use external amplifiers with it as well. But it means it's very flexible for multi-zone or for adding more speakers into the room to get that big expansive sound at the front. And the other key thing with these two units is the fact that if you're using them together, you'll get the benefit of the latest version of Denon Link, which, as a lot of people will know, reduces digital jitter, particularly down HDMI, gives a much cleaner sound. And we're able to achieve a 10% improvement with digital jitter between the two by using the digital clock in the amplifier as the master clock between the two units. So instead of having two clocks that can go out of sync, the signal is being sent as a reference signal to the player, and you get a much smoother sound. This is the latest version. It's much easier to set up now, and it's the first time we've had Denon Link at this sort of price point. For people who don't have this player, there's also a jitter reducer circuit in the amplifier as well, which will benefit other types of Blu-ray players or DVD players that you plug into it. So pretty comprehensive, and we've revamped the remote controls, much cleaner looking, simple, clearly labelled remote control for the system as well.
So obviously that's your focus unit for this year. Now, you've always been renowned for your flagship AVRs.
Yeah.
So is there a new flagship coming?
There will be later on this year in October the AVR-3313, which we have a mock-up version of that here at the moment, and that will be the big flagship, the 9-channel beast. So you can have the full Odyssey DSX or Dolby Pro Logic 2Z wide and height channels and so on. And in terms of custom installation, multi-room facilities, in fact, like the 3313 we were talking about just now, you have 3 HDMI outs, so you can have your projector on the ceiling, the screen dropping down in front of your TV set for movie watching in the main room, and then you can have a third HDMI output to another room. You could use perhaps an HDMI expander, a wireless expander into another room as well. So things like that, obviously RS-232 control and things like that. And that's going to be a monoblock construction. So that really elevates the performance of the whole system. So 9 channel, it's basically 9 monoblocks built into one unit with the processing.
Now, that's the flagship. A lot of people are also interested in the £300 to £500, £600 market. So what do you have coming this year?
Well, there we've got the AVR-2313, which of the 5 receivers that are going to launch initially, that's the core one in the sort of middle of the range at 550. That's obviously a networking unit. But we've made a number of improvements in terms of scaling, much better scaling, which will, for the future, do 4K scaling as well for people with really big screens in the future. So you're pretty well future-proof. And online music services will continue to expand as well for these type of products. We've improved the remote controls, and we've cleaned up the look of the units. We've also made them less deep, so you can fit them onto shelving easier. And again, the displays have got bigger and bolder as well.
So some really exciting products coming out from Marantz, Boston, and of course Denon. Now AVRs, it's a declining market, Roger, and we haven't really heard from you in the last few years. You've almost been a low profile. Why is that?
In terms of the Denon AV receivers, you mean? Yeah. Well, no, we're still plugging away there, and I think the last couple of years, I mean, we had this, I think if we go back sort of 15 years or so, there was a bit of a dip. You know, we've had these sort of peaks and troughs over the years, which have always been elevated when we had Laserdisc, and then we had DVD came in, and that's always lifted things back up again. But we've gone back to the drawing board this year in terms of sound engineering as well, because we use discrete amplifiers right across the range. It's not always the case with budget models, but all our models are discrete amplification. So I think you'll be seeing a lot. You know, you'll be seeing a lot more coverage on the new range from both Denon and Marantz. And the differentiation, of course, is with the Marantz, completely different styling and the slimline receivers that they do.
Now, with everybody going lifestyle, how do you see the future of the AVR? Does it have a future?
I think so, yeah, no, I think so. I mean, you know, there's still a real core audience of guys who like their gaming machines and all the rest of it. But as a family system, we have to make things much more user-friendly, and, you know, which we're doing this year, but also we have to make the design more sort of environmentally friendly, if you like, so that it blends into the room a lot better. So you'll see a lot of products from all the brands, actually, with Boston Acoustics with their speaker bars, for example, which not everybody wants a full-blown AV system. So we have some really neat speaker bars from Boston which can elevate the sound from your TV. I mean, one model is only £170 with the subwoofer built into the unit itself, you know. So we're covering a very wide spectrum, and we're offering people whatever it is they need for their particular home environment. If you want to completely declutter and get rid of all the big speakers, you can go to something much more compact, you know, and perhaps an AV receiver that will slot into your TV rack rather than having a separate rack for it.